Hey there! Welcome to Alpha Gal Home Cook, where I share simple, delicious recipes, foods, and snack ideas that anyone can enjoy. The beauty of it is they are all Alpha Gal free, use everyday ingredients, and won't break the bank. I'm DJ, and today we're going to be making meatloaf. For this recipe, you're going to need a pound of ground turkey, an egg, 1/3 cup of seasoned Italian breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1½ cups of bell peppers diced, a small onion diced, 2 cloves of garlic pressed or minced. For flavor enhancers, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a cup of ketchup or barbecue sauce. After setting the oven to preheat at 350 degrees, we'll start by sauteing the vegetables. I like to do this in stages to build a more robust flavor profile and really strengthen that delicious aromatic flavor that comes from the sauteed onions and garlic. The whole process takes only a couple of minutes. Start by sauteing your onions on a medium to medium-high heat until they begin to become a bit translucent and they start to brown just slightly on the edges. Add the garlic at that time and then saute for just a few seconds because it will brown rather quickly. Next, you'll add your bell peppers. If you are using multiple colors of bell peppers as I am, you can add them all at the same time. Continue to saute the vegetables until they start to soften slightly, and remember that we don't want to overcook them at this point because we'll put them in the meatloaf and they will continue to cook and soften, releasing flavors into the meatloaf as it bakes. Your onions and peppers can still be warm but not hot, so let them cool down for 5 to 10 minutes spread out on a plate or cutting board. When they're cooled off enough, you can add them to the 1 pound of ground turkey. Add the egg, seasoned breadcrumbs, ketchup, and spices. In this video, I'm using seasoned breadcrumbs. If I had only plain breadcrumbs, I would use those but add a tablespoon of Italian seasoning to compensate for a lack of seasonings and flavor that would have been added by the seasoned breadcrumbs. Using your hands, work the ingredients into the ground turkey until they're well distributed, and then begin kneading the mixture gently. At first, it's going to be extremely wet and sticky. As you're working it, you'll find that it gains a bit more structure. You won't want to overwork it, but if you do get to a point where it feels that it's starting to bind well together and not too goopy, for lack of a better word, it's time to place it in your greased baking dish and form it into a loaf. It doesn't matter if you use a square or a loaf-shaped pan for this recipe, the cooking times will be the same. After 35 minutes in the oven, your meatloaf should be ready to top with ketchup or barbecue sauce. If you're skipping this step, simply let your loaf cook for the full 40 to 45 minutes without removing it until it's done. I'm using no sugar added Baby Ray's sweet and spicy barbecue sauce today because it's safe for me and we find it goes very well with the meatloaf. After adding the barbecue sauce, I'll place the meatloaf back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes until the sauce starts to brown. When it's done cooking, allow it to cool off for 5 minutes or so before slicing and serving. The meatloaf is beautiful, delicious, and only takes about 15 to 20 minutes to throw together and get in the oven, depending on your knife skills and your cooking experience. It's savory, hearty, and comforting. If you've been craving meatloaf and just haven't found the right recipe, this is the one. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll catch me for the next one.